Hey guys, I'm Dee.
And I'm Northern, and today we will be talking about a touchy subject, mental health within your marriage. Last episode we ended it off on talking about, the military and things like that. And now we're going to branch off into mental health and the importance of mental health within your marriage.
Right.
Being though it is such a touchy subject, we had to partake in some good drinks here today. So we can remain calm through this conversation, just because it's one of those things that, is very important to us. And I know that we have conversations about it and we make sure that we're open about it. Biggest thing, well, not biggest thing, but one question that I just want to ask you, and you definitely can stretch upon this. What do you think is one of the biggest determining factors as far as keeping your mental health up to par?
I would say one of the biggest ones is just taking time for myself. Because at one point, I had no time for myself. It was doing things for you, doing things for the kids, doing things, just feeling like I was stretched thin.
Right.
So I would say just making sure I take the time out for myself, whether that's to go get a massage, go to get my hair done, just something away from you and the kids. That's a big stress reliever, and it gives me time to think, gives me time to just relax and not feel like I have to be doing something, whether it's school shopping, taking the kids to practice, or whatever the case may be. It's that set time for myself.
And you think that that helps you as far as your stress level, your mental health,
Yes, it does. It does. It takes my mind away from work. It takes my mind, you have all these different everyday stressors in life, and it's like you really have to take that time for yourself. And early on, I didn't realize how important that was. But as I get older and as you mature within your marriage, you feel like, or I should say, I feel like that's what I need to stay healthy and mentally sane.
Yeah. So within saying that, let me ask you this. Right now today, right now at this moment, on let's just say a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being I need to go talk to somebody, 5 being I'm great. Where do you think you are right now today?
On a scale of 1 to 5?
Let's just say 1 to 5. Well, I guess we could say 1 to 10. 1 to 10, 1 to 5, don't matter.
I'm gonna say an 8.5.
8.5? Okay, so I was
just being realistic about things.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna pose a question like that without answering it. I would say about a 6. And that's just me being completely honest, which to me a 6 is not too good, but not too bad at the same time. I know for me mentally, it's a little bit of a strain on me right now because I'm being pulled in so many different directions. I have my work life, I have my military life, I have my home life, which, me being a husband, me being a father, watching my kids grow up, wanting to be that role model for them. And right this moment, right now, today, it's just a stretch. And trying to satisfy all of those things at one time is really difficult for me as a man. It's very difficult. But at the same time, I have to make sure that, all of those things are taken care of, because I don't want anything to go disorder. So I would say about a 6.
Now,
as of right now.
Do you feel like you need to talk to somebody, or you just feel like it's about organizing your life as far as your job and the military? I mean, I know, something has happened recently as far as the military is concerned, but it's is that, something that you need to figure out as far as?
I mean, nah, not really, because I'm not going to go on a rant about the military, but let's just say that those things happen. And with the military, one of the biggest qualities that you must have is mental resiliency. But that's besides the fact. It's just the fact of being a man that is a soldier, a father, an employee, a husband. Like, you know, those things right there will really strain on you, and it'll just drain you. I only can speak from a male's perspective, so it really will drain you if you don't do certain things to kind of like offset that. Like you said, and this is to your point, you do little things by yourself. You take mental breaks. So mental breaks in your relationship can happen individually, and it can happen together, which is very important of the two. The two is, and both of them must happen. So for us, my individual mental break is that I cycled.
Yeah.
I must cycle. It's times that cycling literally clears my brain. It means everything to me. It's more mental for me than what it is physical. Everybody says, yo, how do you go out here and do 100 miles? Well, it's a mental release. That's what I do as an individual. And I do other things too, but that's one of the main things. Together, we have vowed to go on little vacations, whether it's just a drive, whether it's a quick flight, whatever the situation might be, about every quarter.
Yeah.
That's important to us because that's a mental release from us being parents.
Yeah.
Which we need.
Being parents, our work life,
Yeah.
friends, family, whatever. You just shut everybody out and you just go.
Yeah. So within our marriage, have you or anyone that you've been around, have you seen them like be in a situation where they can't quite handle it mentally and they don't know it? Or like, have you ever seen a situation where they are constantly like, you can tell they're mentally breaking down and then it comes to an apex where something really bad happens? Have you seen that?
I want to say yes, I have seen it with someone else's marriage. I've also seen times where as though you will be stressed out, like work and stuff like that, and then it affects home, you know, so it affects us. But then again, those were the days where we were going to counseling. And shout out to John. He really, really
How's John blast?
William.
That's so
John William.
John Williams, he saved our marriage. Like, yeah. I mean, like, literally, like, he was amazing. Like, and he definitely addressed, and this goes back to the military episode we did. Hopefully you guys watched that.
The people.
When we went to counseling, he addressed all of that, where we thought it was one thing, but it really was 20 things.
Yes.
So yeah, shout out to John.
Yes. But yeah, so I've seen it before. I've experienced it before. It's all about, like I said, that communication, and sometimes you don't even know you're having a meltdown. I've been on the fence before where it's all I'm done. Whether it was work, whether it was home, I was like, yo, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm done. Never wanted to harm myself or anything like that, but I'm just saying mentally, I was stressed and just ready to just let it.
I never really had like suicidal thoughts before.
Yeah, I've never had that as well.
I've been in dark places mentally, but never suicidal thoughts. It always was just, you know, like, damn, like but I was just trying to figure out a way to get out of it. Like, I'm really in a bad situation, but let me figure out a way to get out of it. I'm going to say this. I feel as though that every relationship needs to really focus on a conversation about each other's mental health within themselves. Like, let's just get rid of the counseling part for a second. It really needs to be a conversation between you two about, and even if it's just like hey, how you feeling today? How you feeling today is always a cliche answer. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I'm good. But no, if you're not good, you need to come out and say it. And I know that it took years for us to do this, but I know that between me and you, we kind of like do that.
Yeah. Before I would be like, I'm good, stressed out, stressed to the max. I'm good though. I'm good. I got the kids. What do you need? Got it. Okay, I'm good. Never really having time for myself, split up between you, the kids, work, and everything else that comes along with it. And it's like, yo, not good. I'm really not good. And I had to tell myself that, like, I am not good. Like, what the hell? And how did I get myself in this situation where as though I'm just not okay?
How about, because we both do it, and I know people that's watching does it. How about different things that you put in your life that causes a mental strain and hurts your mental health within your marriage, i.e., like if you decide to go to school, or if you decide to, do like something extra other than your everyday, or, let's just say certain things that could hurt your mental health, or alter your mental health, like, losing a loved one or something like that. Those things hurt, right?
I mean, they ultimately, everything, all of those factors play a big part. Like, for me, I started going to school, and then at one point I needed to stop working to really like focus on my studies and things like that, clinicals, and it just was at that point I couldn't really stop. You didn't really want me to stop, and it was like, dang, like, and it really did something to me, and it really had me like, I put in all this time and effort and I can't complete this. I was stressed out. And still to this day, I am still a little stressed out. But, some way or another, I'll finish it. So
I guess that's where the 8.5 comes in then.
Yeah, because it's just sometimes I just get really stressed out about it because I couldn't work. Like between school, work, kids, home, just maintaining, everyday life. It can get hard, and I feel like I put 1,000 into my studies and I can't really fully complete what I set out. Now, granted, I chose another field or whatever that's similar, and I don't need to actually stop working, but that's not what I love, and that wasn't my passion, and that's not what I started going to school for. So
I think the biggest thing about this conversation that's very important is that it shows a vulnerability and that we're not perfect. We sit here and we have these conversations about marriage, and it can be perceived as if we have the perfect situation, quote unquote, but we know that we're not perfect. We're human too. We make mistakes too. We have mental breakdowns as well, and we have our flaws too within our relationship. So I say that to say nobody's exempt from actually getting help and actually, talking to someone and talking to their spouse. No one's exempt from this. As men, our pride gets in the way of sometimes talking about our mental health, our bravado, or whatever you want to call it, testosterone, whatever you want to call it. But we have to show a vulnerability to our spouse. Like, as men, it's very important. We must show that vulnerability, because if we don't, 9 times out of 10, eventually you might have a little bit of an issue, just because as women, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, they are emotional. They're emotional creatures. They live off of their emotions sometimes. So you have to show that emotion as well. And it's okay to show that emotion as a man, because we are taught as kids to bottle everything up. We are taught to bottle our emotions up.
What, as a man?
As a boy growing up to be a man, yeah, exactly. As a boy growing up to a man, you hear it all the time. What you crying for? We boys, we don't cry. We men, we don't cry. We men, you hold that in. Like,
Or suck it up.
or suck it up like you a man. Or you hear the whole thing that I heard my whole life, because obviously all 6'5" of me, you're too big for that shit. No, I'm not too big for that shit. I'm a human too, just like everybody else. I can have a breakdown too. That's why when our kids, they cry, I don't necessarily stop them. I let them get that out, because that's them showing their emotion, and that's okay. Not in all situations, but that's okay to show your emotions in an intimate setting. Intimate being private setting, whatever situation it might be. And I just want to make sure that I'm reaching out to all the fellas when we talk about this mental health thing, that it's okay to show your emotions with your spouse. It's very important, and your spouse will appreciate you for it. Like, I just can't stress that part enough. Like,
Yeah, I do. I know a lot of females that are like me. You're strong and you feel like you can hold the weight of the world on your shoulders, but it is okay to say that you are not okay. And I had to learn that the hard way. You just cannot just keep going on and I got it. And, I know Norm noticed sometimes when I'm just not happy or I'm just not there. But it's also knowing your spouse as well. You know what I mean? You know when your spouse isn't happy. You can't just ignore that. It's eventually going to take a toll on your relationship, whether you're married, in a relationship, talking, whatever. If you notice it, you have to say something. Like, hey, what's going on? What's bothering you today? Or, come on, let's go to lunch. Let's talk about it. Whatever you need to say to get them to get it out. Now, for me, I've never been suicidal or anything like that, but you just don't know what people are going through and how certain things affect them. So,
yeah, if you know that you're doing something, right, that your spouse it's going to drive your spouse crazy. Like, not necessarily like, I'm not necessarily talking about like infidelity or anything like that. I'm just talking about normal everyday stuff that that's going to drive your spouse crazy, that, that's a serious thing. And you need to either you need to stop, but regardless of that, like, just have a conversation. As men, that is the last thing we want to do. I'll be the first one to tell you, like, I don't want to, it takes a build up for me to come out and say, yo, what's wrong? Because I know I'm opening up Pandora's box, especially at least with you.
if you know you caused it or something.
Not even really caused it. It's not even a cause. It's just that as men, it's very important, especially as we get older, it's very important that we keep our peacefulness and tranquility is very important to us. It's something that we hold as value. Like, it's something that we hold, that we want that at all times. We don't really want the controversy. That's why you would see, like, back in the day, like, the mom is like yelling, screaming, and hollering, right? And the dad just walks away. That's why you see that. They just walk away like, yeah, I don't got time for that. I don't feel like that. But so I know, like, when I ask these questions, like, yo, how are you today? And you just say fine. But I know in the back of my head something's wrong. I know that what I'm crying for is opening up Pandora's box. I have to prepare myself for something that I might not want to hear. I have to prepare myself for something I might not agree with. I have to prepare myself for all of these things. And that's a part of my mental health, but it's a part of my mental health helping you with your mental health. So out of those things, like, I have to literally, as a man, prepare myself for, I'm going to say it anyway, I don't mean this literally, but I have to prepare myself for the bullshit. Not to say that what you're saying is bullshit, it's to say that I have to prepare myself for the fire that I'm about to take myself through, because I want to make sure that you're good with all good intentions. I don't know how it works for you when you're, see, I just said not literally, but figuratively. See, that part was very important that I said that. But my whole thing is that I'm just trying to help you with your mental health because I know that you would do the same thing for me.
I have done the same thing for you. It's like, what's wrong, Norm? Nothing, I'm good. What's wrong, Norm? Teddy, stop asking me that. Jeez, like, I'm good.
This is exactly what it sounds like, and I really don't understand
Norm,
how she can imitate me like this.
That's
That's
it.
exactly what it sounds like.
It's like,
It's kind of scary.
I'm not playing with you. You need to tell me what's going on.
Didn't you just like that too?
Sometimes, depending if I'm like,
Oh, yeah, you jumping there? Yeah, you trying to like, I don't remember that part. But continue.
But, it's the same thing with you. Like, I know when something's going on at work. I know when something's going on with the military. I know when you're just tired. I know when you don't want to go to work. I know when it's becoming too much. I know when the kids' sports and things start to become too much. I know. And you just try to fold it in because you're a man. And it's like, D, I got it. And then when you do something, you'll be some bullshit, like, just like what you said. It might not be bullshit to you, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I get it.
Bullshit. It be some bullshit like, D, I'm just tired. I'm like, why you move like that, though? But the way people handle certain situations, your mental is just totally different.
But isn't it a situation where, we've been married for over 10 years now. Isn't it a situation where you kind of like know prior to me coming in the house? Like, is it a situation where he about to come on the bullshit. Here we go.
Yeah, because I got a text from you during the day, like, let me tell you what happened. Or,
That's usually a phone call.
Yeah, no. You would text me first. And now you don't text me because you have that extension and everything like that.
Yeah.
But you'll call me now and be like, yo, when I get home, I gotta tell you something. Like, let me tell you what happened today. Because I can't necessarily talk at that time. If I got patience, then it's just like, what the hell? And you come home, I'll be like, me get ready, man. You're about to talk while you're all mad as hell.
But likewise though, because I'll be like, all right, she getting off late today. This ain't about to be good, but I'm going to endure it because it's going to let her get it out. And I just sit there and listen. Let me tell you what happened today. I'll be like, oh, here we go. Here we go. What happened, boo? Like, that's how I've been. So what happened, boo? But this is all we're talking about this, but this is all mental releases. This is all allowing your spouse to mentally release. And yes, we're laughing about it, kind of talking about it jokingly, but in a more serious note, if you don't make yourself available for that, I'm talking about male and female now. If you don't make yourself available for that to your spouse, then what are you doing? Right. You know what I mean? I'm okay. And that's one of those things where I will disagree with you to the death of me. I'm not, you have to be available mentally for your spouse. Mentally, physically, emotionally, the whole thing, all that matters. And just because we're men doesn't mean that we don't have to make ourselves available.
And can I just make a point? I know we're talking about mental health, but we're also talking about within being in your relationship. If you don't make yourself mentally, spiritually, physically available for your significant other, spouse, whatever, somebody else will. Somebody else will. They will pull right on up like, what happened? What you not doing? Oh, okay. Let's go and have a couple of drinks. Let's talk about it.
Facts. I'm just calling to see how your day went.
Because you might have posted something on social media. They seen it. They already watching you, praying that your marriage get effed up so they can slide right on in.
What's your song?
You.
As soon as you buy that wine, I just scream from behind. Ain't that how that work? Cause I already know, that's how it be. I know guys are extremely persistent. Women, as they get older, they become extremely persistent and desperate.
They do. That's
so if you're not making yourself mentally available, you are leaving yourself vulnerable for your relationship to have some kinks and cracks, because they call it emotional attachment, but it's really sometimes it's probably a mental attachment more than anything. It might be more mental. I know when we were just dating, I was looking for that, and you gave me that. Like, it was like one of those things where you gave me that mental attachment. I could care less about the physical. It wasn't about the physical at that time in my life. It was about, I need to connect with her mentally. I never connected with anyone mentally. Like, it was always like, damn, she look good. All right, bet. I'm going after that. Right. Or it was always like, you know, damn, she can do this for me, or she can do that for me. All right, bet. I'm going after that. But nah, I needed that mental connection. I needed to be able to hold a conversation with you for hours and it'd be okay.
I think our first time speaking on the phone, we were on the phone for like 4 hours.
Like 4 hours straight.
Just
like
talking.
Like, and like, I'm looking at my phone like, yo, my phone was just fully charged and my phone's about to go dead now. Like, but there's nothing I could do about it. Like, but I wanted to continue to talk because we're just talking. And, you know, we became friends first. So we had that mental connection to help each other first. Because at the end of the day, we have these times where Denise says it to me all the time, like, and I hate it when she says it because I know some reckless, it's like her disclosure to recklessness coming out of her mouth. She'd be like, yo, can I just talk to you real quick as my homie? And I just be like,
I don't like this.
And like, she about to say some recklessness, like it's coming, like, you know what I mean?
And she be like, let me sit back because I don't want him to snap out, like.
No, well, actually, she usually does this and we're on the phone. And I think that's by design. But it's all good. However it goes, it's all good. So, yeah. So
Why you make it seem like we trying to tell you some reckless stuff? Like,
yo, like sometimes it be about me. So you be like, yo, can I talk to you as my homie? And I just be like, oh shit,
I'm gonna talk to you as my friend because this is not right.
But it's warranted though because I want her to be able to be comfortable with me talking to me like that. You need to be able to talk to me like
that. So I'd rather talk to you about you and the things that we're going through than talk to somebody else or confide in somebody else. Just like I want you to be able to talk to me. I don't want to ever be a situation where it's though, like, say we don't work or say something happens and we're kind of split or on the fence or whatever, and another chick can tell me about me. Right. I don't want that. I don't like that. Because she fitting to get messed up and you fitting to get something thrown at you or something, because nobody should be able to tell me. I'm just seeing period versus if it's one of our friends, if it's anybody, I would want you to come to me and be like, D, we need to have a conversation because I don't like what you're doing here, and here, or I don't like this, or whatever the case may be. And then that's not necessarily mean it had to be something that I'm doing wrong or something you're doing wrong or whatever. It's just something like, babe, can we just change this up or can we do this? I'd rather for you to come talk to me because I would never want any of our friends or the next chick or whomever to ever tell me something that I did wrong or have any ammo to say anything to me because then it's going down.
So how about if it's not another chick and it's like,
wow, wait, what?
Hold on, let me finish.
What?
Let me finish. How about if it's not another chick, but like, it's like a parent?
Your mom?
Like my mom.
Listen, let me tell you something. Miss Debbie, I love you. I love you, Mom.
Yes. This is such a setup. I love it. Go ahead.
But
it was such a setup.
Your mother, my mother, hi. She would keep that to herself and she would more so cuss you out than me.
You think so?
Yes. Your mom has never, ever put me in my place or said anything of the sort.
All right.
She says, Norman.
All right, hold on.
You.
Hold on. I'm gonna stop you right there because we talking about parents within your relationship. I don't want to get off topic. Yep. We wanted to save that one. I'm going to save that one. We gotta keep that. Tuck that one in.
You grown, you brought.
I know, but that's just a part of the controversy. You gotta have a controversy. Moral of the story: be able to mentally connect with your spouse, to keep each other healthy.
And if you feel like your spouse, friend, brother, sister, uncle, cousin, anybody is out there struggling, please get them help. You don't have to necessarily 302 them or anything like that unless you feel like they're going to harm themselves within the situation, but you do need to help them get help. Depression, PTSD, all of that is real and we need to help.
Anxiety as well. So whoever you have, if it's your spouse, have that conversation with your spouse today.
Yeah.
Like, Talk about that today. Do a mental, exactly what you
But mental check. How are you today? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being great, 1 being like, yo, we need to go get some medicine, get some counseling, get something.
Yeah.
You know,
have that conversation. But you know, that's really, we're gonna wrap this one up because it's one of those things where we want y'all to have that conversation with each other. So make sure, you know, you watch this episode and say, and you know, if you're not watching it, which is about, just go and say, hey, yo, babe, what you doing? How you today? And just have that conversation.
each and every day, because it's important.
It's important.